Welcome back to SMK Entertainment, where we explore the most mind-blowing facts and mysteries from around the world. Today, we journey to a place where continents almost touch, where the currents of history and geology collide. The Strait of Gibraltar, a narrow passage separating Europe and Africa by a mere 14 kilometers. It's a distance easily traversed by ferry, a quick hop between continents. Yet, a question arises. Why hasn't human ingenuity bridged this gap, connecting these two worlds with a feat of engineering? The answer, as we'll discover, lies in a confluence of factors. The formidable challenges presented by nature, the complexities of international politics, and the daunting costs involved. Join me now as we delve into the depths of this intriguing question and uncover the real reasons why a bridge between Europe and Africa remains an elusive dream. At its narrowest point, the Strait of Gibraltar measures a mere 14 kilometers, a distance dwarfed by many bridges around the world. To put it into perspective, it's shorter than the length of many cities. One might glance at a map and think, surely a bridge here is a simple matter. After all, we've conquered far greater distances, haven't we? The English Channel separating England and France stretches over 30 kilometers at its narrowest point, more than double the width of the Strait of Gibraltar. And yet, the Channel Tunnel, an underwater marvel of engineering, successfully connects these two nations. So, if we can tunnel beneath the sea, why not erect a bridge across this seemingly modest strait? The answer, as we shall see, lies beneath the surface. The Strait of Gibraltar, while geographically narrow, presents a unique set of challenges that make bridging it an incredibly complex undertaking. The depth of the strait, for one, is significantly greater than that of the English Channel. While the Channel Tunnel burrows through relatively shallow seabed, the ocean floor of the strait plunges to depths exceeding 900 meters, a depth comparable to the tallest skyscrapers on Earth. This dramatic depth poses a formidable obstacle to bridge construction, requiring unprecedented engineering solutions. And as if the depth itself weren't enough, the strait is also characterized by strong currents constantly shifting the seabed and adding another layer of complexity to any potential construction project. Imagine trying to anchor the foundations of a skyscraper on a constantly shifting sand dune, buffeted by relentless winds. This is the challenge posed by the ocean floor of the Strait of Gibraltar. The depth, as we've established, is daunting, but it's the nature of the seabed that presents the real nightmare. Unlike the relatively stable bedrock found in some areas, the strait's floor is a dynamic environment. Powerful currents, driven by the convergence of the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea, surge through this narrow passage, constantly churning up the seabed. This creates a highly unstable base upon which to build, making traditional bridge foundations virtually impossible. To further complicate matters, the region is seismically active, meaning earthquakes are a constant threat. The African and Eurasian tectonic plates collide here, generating frequent tremors that could easily topple even the most robust structures. Building a bridge in such an environment would be akin to constructing a house of cards in a hurricane. Engineers would have to devise innovative solutions, perhaps drawing inspiration from offshore oil rigs designed to withstand harsh ocean conditions. But even then, the sheer scale and depth of the strait would push the boundaries of engineering to their absolute limits. The cost of overcoming these challenges would be astronomical, making the project financially daunting even for the wealthiest nations. And as we'll see, the financial hurdles are just one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk numbers for a moment. The Channel Tunnel, a remarkable feat of engineering in its own right, came with a hefty price tag of over $20 billion in today's currency. And remember, that project involved tunneling through relatively stable ground compared to the Strait of Gibraltar. Now, imagine attempting to bridge a distance longer than the Channel Tunnel, at depths 10 times greater, in an environment characterized by treacherous currents and seismic activity. The cost of such an endeavor would be staggering, potentially reaching hundreds of billions of dollars. The financial burden wouldn't fall solely on construction. Maintenance costs for a structure of this magnitude, constantly exposed to the corrosive effects of salt water, strong currents, and the risk of earthquakes, would be astronomical. Imagine the ongoing expenses of inspections, repairs, and upgrades. It would be a continuous drain on national budgets. And that's assuming the project even gets off the ground in the first place. Securing funding for such an expensive and risky endeavor would be a monumental challenge. governments would need to weigh the potential benefits against the enormous costs, and it's unclear if the economic returns would ever justify such an investment. But even if, hypothetically, the money could be found, there's another significant obstacle to consider: the complex web of international politics. Beyond the formidable engineering challenges and the astronomical costs, the prospect of a bridge across the Strait of Gibraltar is further complicated by the realities of geopolitics. The strait isn't simply a geographical divide, it's a border between continents, cultures, and political ideologies. A physical link between Europe and Africa, while potentially fostering trade and tourism, also raises concerns about uncontrolled migration. The fear is that a bridge or tunnel could act as a gateway for a surge of people seeking a better life in Europe, overwhelming border controls and straining social systems. This fear is not unfounded. Europe has grappled with waves of migration in recent years, leading to heightened border security and political tensions. A bridge across the Strait of Gibraltar, symbolizing an open door between continents, could exacerbate these anxieties and become a focal point for political opposition. The issue of migration is a complex one with no easy answers. While a bridge could facilitate legal travel and cultural exchange, it could also become a flashpoint for those who view it as a threat to national identity and security. The Strait of Gibraltar isn't just a line on a map, it's a vibrant ecosystem, teeming with marine life. The confluence of the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea creates a unique environment, rich in biodiversity and crucial for migratory species. Constructing a massive structure like a bridge or tunnel across this delicate ecosystem would inevitably have environmental consequences. The construction process itself, involving dredging, pile driving, and the potential for pollution, could disrupt marine habitats and harm marine life. The bridge's presence, once built, could also alter the delicate balance of the strait's ecosystem. The pillars supporting the bridge could interfere with natural currents, affecting the flow of nutrients and the movement of marine animals. Noise pollution from traffic could also disrupt marine mammals that rely on sound for communication and navigation. Environmental groups would undoubtedly raise concerns about the potential for irreversible damage to this unique and valuable ecosystem. In today's world, where environmental awareness is growing, any project with such significant ecological impacts would face intense scrutiny and opposition. The dream of connecting Europe and Africa across the Strait of Gibraltar is not new. Over the years, various proposals have been put forward, each attempting to overcome the formidable challenges presented by this unique location. One early idea, reminiscent of the Channel Tunnel, involved constructing a submerged tunnel beneath the strait. However, the depth and unstable geology of the seabed made this option even more challenging than the Channel Tunnel, and the idea was ultimately deemed impractical. Another ambitious proposal envisioned a suspension bridge, with towering pylons dwarfing even the tallest skyscrapers. However, the logistical nightmare of constructing and maintaining such a structure in such a challenging environment, combined with the astronomical costs, made this option equally unfeasible. More recently, some have suggested innovative solutions like floating bridges or submerged tubes tethered to the seabed. While technologically intriguing, these concepts remain largely theoretical, limited by current engineering capabilities and the immense costs involved in developing and implementing such unconventional structures. Despite decades of brainstorming and technological advancements, a truly viable solution to bridging the Strait of Gibraltar remains elusive. The challenges posed by nature, combined with the political and economic realities, have kept this dream firmly in the realm of imagination. So, is a bridge or tunnel across the Strait of Gibraltar forever destined to remain an engineer's fantasy? While the challenges are undeniably immense, human ingenuity has a knack for overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Advancements in material science, construction techniques, and our understanding of the Earth's geology could potentially pave the way for innovative solutions in the future. Imagine self-healing concrete capable of withstanding the corrosive effects of salt water, or robotic construction systems that can operate at extreme depths. Perhaps one day we'll develop the technology to construct underwater floating tunnels, anchored to the seabed and impervious to earthquakes and currents. Or maybe advancements in magnetic levitation will allow us to build high-speed trains that glide effortlessly above the water, eliminating the need for traditional bridge supports. However, even if we manage to overcome the technological hurdles, the political and economic realities will likely remain significant factors. Unless there's a shift in the political climate, easing concerns about migration and fostering greater cooperation between nations, the dream of a physical link between Europe and Africa may remain just that, a dream. For now, the Strait of Gibraltar will continue to be a place where continents almost touch, separated by a narrow stretch of water that represents both a physical and metaphorical divide. Whether that divide will one day be bridged remains to be seen, a question for future generations to ponder. So there you have it. The real reason why there's no bridge between Europe and Africa isn't just one issue. It's a storm of engineering challenges, political tension, massive costs, and environmental impact. The Strait of Gibraltar, a seemingly narrow passage, presents a formidable barrier that has, thus far, proven too challenging and too costly to overcome. Yet, as we've explored, the human spirit of innovation is relentless. Perhaps one day, technological advancements will provide us with the tools to conquer this engineering Everest. But until then, the Strait of Gibraltar will remain a poignant reminder of the power of nature, the complexities of human society, and the enduring allure of ambitious dreams. Would you want to see this bridge built in the future? Let us know in the comments, and if you learned something new, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your curious friends. Thanks for watching SMK Entertainment, where the world's biggest questions become clear.